Mike Pendleton here with Calf Kick Sports, and we're going to jump right into it. I am here with top contender, one of the very best in the UFC, one of the very best in the heavyweight division. And Curtis, I feel like this is going to be a very good conversation because again and again and again, here we go with the carousel and the drama and the BS at the top of the heavyweight division. First and foremost, pleasure to talk to you again. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay, first order of business. We know the UFC is going back to Manchester. The last time you and I spoke, you obviously called for a fight with Tom Aspinall following your stellar performance in your last fight. Is that still your focus right now?
Uh, yeah, but I don't believe I'm going to be receiving that fight. I'm pretty sure they gave it to Gane, which is whatever. Uh, I'm just gonna enjoy the summer, and I'll be ready for whoever. I really don't know who it would be. I'll have to wait on the other matchups, and we'll go from that.
I've been interviewing you for years, and it feels like we're back in the same pattern in the heavyweight division. For so long, we had Francis and then Stipe in DC. And here we are now. Jon Jones moves up to heavyweight, defeats Gane, tears his pec. He wants this Stipe fight. Now he's calling for a fight either against Tom or
Yeah,
against Alex Pereira. I
yeah.
mean, what's
It
your
might even be
frustration?
John. I'm not like I don't have energy. I'm not. I won my fight. I made really good money. That's okay. Uh, it's just a job. I'm not one of those like if I don't ever get the belt, I won't ever be able to sleep at night. I wasn't it. Obviously, you want the belt, but it's not the end all be all. I'm here for the money. Money's good, so I'll be okay.
I obviously know that you stick to the plan. You're a guy who is happy to go in, do his job, get his check,
Yeah.
and and you'll just wait for the next call. But at the top, we John and Stipe, you were kind of just saying it. John and Stipe still haven't fought yet, and he's calling for Alex Pereira. Are you kind of getting sick of this popularity contest at the top? Not involving you, just
No,
around the division.
no, it just is. That's what it is. Like that's like saying I'm sick of taxes. Like they're gonna be here, so what's the point of bitching about it? Like it's gonna be here. So it is what it is. I'm already over it. Like I wasn't really that super like, oh yeah, it's gonna happen. I I was only believing it a little bit because I was hearing it a lot online from like people I didn't really even have any relationship with. So I was like, oh, that's not the norm. So maybe this will be a little different, but it isn't. So it's okay.
What's crazy to me is, and you know this as a fighter, there's so many like MMA Instagram accounts and social media accounts. They always put these cards together and they're never like rumor, they're never set to be true, but they're just rumored fights. And you continue to be, I see you continue to be put in a fight against Tom Aspinall. Do you think like it's set in stone, or are you still open? Like, hey, call me.
Obviously, obviously, I'm still open, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm not like I I don't really believe it. Like it would have happened by now. Like Palm's already announced like over a week ago. He announced that oh no, I was already told that it was offered to Gon, but I had feelings about it. But yeah, I was already told like yeah they offered it to him, but then I also hear he's supposed to be doing a movie, so maybe that's the hold up, or it could be John. Like like I said, it could also hell it could be Brock Lesnar. Like there's a lot of like wild options. I know I'm not the number one option. I might be a lot of people's option, but they don't have enough power to make that happen, you know?
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate because you've obviously done the work to be at the top. I guess I'm just a little perplexed because you've done the work. And you last time you talked about it, you even mentioned how Gane has played games.
Yeah.
If that fight weren't to come together, is there a timeline where you would feel like they have to call me by this date, or I'm not taking it, or will you take it no matter what?
No, yeah, I'm not gonna take it like 3 weeks out. No, you can offer that to somebody else, and they'll probably lose because it's a title fight. I get it. Everybody's like, man, if you're gonna win it, you gotta seize the opportunity. I I remember like 5 years ago or 4 years ago, I got offered Stipe on 3 weeks notice. I said nah. Like I respect the sport enough. Like you don't beat a guy like him on 3 weeks of work. And I believe this thing with Aspinall. That dude's legit. You're not gonna beat him. Obviously I'm in the gym already, but because we don't know when to begin camp, like it's hard to know when to ramp it up and when to have like a down week and all that stuff. We won't have a date. So right now I'm not I'm not in off mode, but I'm not going like hard. I'm not doing like 5 rounds. So yeah, I need at least 6 weeks. So and
Well, I am, obviously not just because someone who always makes time for me, but I think you've rightfully earned it. Plus, the last time we talked about like the narrative is there, right? Like
yeah.
the narrative is there for
But again,
go ahead.
there's it's easy. The UFC, they're professionals that like marketing. They can push whatever narrative. There's a narrative with Alex Pereira. It's like, oh, this guy could potentially be the first guy to win 3 titles. That's the big deal. You can have the John angle. That's all you need. It's Jon Jones, and then you got the gun. You got England versus France. He's he has a lot of fans. That's really the biggest thing he's got. He's got the fans, and that's a big thing though. But he's got a lot of fans. So
Yeah.
it's easy to make storylines.
Oh, absolutely there is. But it's someone who has grinded out throughout his career and understands the sport and understands how this kind of popularity contest goes. Don't you feel deep down though, and I know you're not like the most emotional guy when it comes to this stuff, but
No,
don't you
it's
feel,
wrong.
yeah.
It's wrong. But like I said, taxes are wrong also. But what are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, I'm not gonna. You have to play ball, and it's just easier to do it. I would have smiled, but a front. I heard somewhere that it takes like 40 more muscles in your face to frown than it does to smile. Now, I'm not smiling. I'm also not going to put the energy into frowning. I'm just
Right,
meh. It
right,
is what
right.
it is.
Just well, yeah, exactly. It is what it is. But deep down, don't you feel Tom Aspinall at some point with the belt, without the belt, you two will meet again?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is it possible? Yeah, but who knows? Like, maybe he has the belt. He he fights John. He beats John, but he gets injured. And then this is an interim title, yada yada. And I don't know.
This
Like,
is obviously territory you're
yeah,
familiar.
it's cause I thought I had a chance to fight Stipe. Now I know that's not happening. I thought I had a chance to fight DC, but then they gave it to Derek Lewis instead. And that was a popularity. And that's when I knew, like, okay, it don't matter what you really do in the cage. Like having fans is the biggest thing. And I'm just like, that's not who I am. I'm not gonna put energy into being a character or whatever. I'm trying to put energy into being a good fighter, and that's I got good money off that. Like you win fights, you will get a raise. You don't have to be popular in order to win fights and get a raise. And I like getting raises, so I put my energy into that.
wins equal raises and raises equals happiness, right? So
Yeah,
I get that 100%. Now, I'm just spitballing. I know nothing, obviously. But if this were to kind of go in a direction that it may be going, if it is Tom and it is Gane, maybe for the interim title, and Jon says, you know what, let me take that Alex Pereira challenge. Sorry, Stipe, we this just took too long. But if Stipe wanted one more fight, would you be open to that matchup?
yeah, but I highly doubt Steve is gonna be like, you know what? I'm in my UFC tenure with a horror fight against Blaydes. I don't help my legacy. It's not. He beats me. I don't help his legacy. I understand that. I beat him. That definitely helps my legacy. So like the risk reward for him, it's not there, unless they're gonna like allow us to headline a pay per view and he gets pay per view points, which again I highly doubt that. But yeah, if that were to happen, yeah, I'll fight Stipe.
It's just, I guess for me, and again, this isn't just because I've talked to you, for years now throughout your career. It just, one, it's frustrating for me, and two, there's got to be a path where it becomes undeniable to give you the rightful big fight that you deserve, whether it's Tom or somebody.
Mm,
I'm just trying to figure that out.
there,
Like, would you
there
rather them
was,
just play it out?
there was a path. I effed up last year when I had Pavlovich. I beat him. I get title shot. That was my path, and I got to be honest. The UFC they gave me what I wanted, and that straight up. And I fumbled the bag on that one. But as in, is there a path right now? Yeah, but like it's a lot of ifs and ands, and I don't know. Like at this point, I'm waiting on them. Like we'll see. Like I said, I probably won't get a matchup until like maybe August because a lot of the other heavyweights are already lined up. So I gotta wait.
Yeah, and if you can't, you kind of talk, and I know you're not frustrated about it because, like you said, it's just it is what it is. But
Yeah.
how does that affect day to day life, not just in the training room and in the gym,
Uh,
but in your day to day?
well, like I wanna go back home to Chicago and haven't been able to plan that yet because I'm like, should I be here to begin camp or do I have time? Do I have time to go home and eat pizza or whatever? Like, yeah, so there's that. And me and my girl, we want to go to Japan. I'd like to do that, maybe in July. But if I get the Aspinall, which I don't doubt I get it, but if I did, how we wouldn't be able to do that. So it's like for things like that, it's hard to plan. But my day to day, I still work out. It's my day is the same. Yeah, my day to day is the same.
I got to ask because I just find it very intriguing. Going over to Japan, what would be the big things for you guys to do over there in Japan?
Um, we're both into animes, so we know there's like a whole lot of that over there,
Yeah.
museums and stores and whatnot. And I'm a bit of a history buff, so I like to see the museums. I've always been into samurai and ninjas and things like that. And the food, like I'm not into uh sushi, but my girl is. But they have Japan isn't just sushi. That's like in America, just hamburgers. They have a lot more than sushi. So the food, the people, we watch a lot of other Americans. They go over there, they vlog it, put it on YouTube. We watch those, and it just looks like it's always been on my bucket list. But it just looks like a place, a place that's very friendly, and like I said, the history and the food. Yeah, there's a lot we want to do over there.
I think that'd be very cool. I've never left the country, so I've obviously got,
Oh,
yeah,
you should do it.
my,
You should do it.
mind's always wondering, like, man, I wonder how it is anywhere outside of the US.
It's
Are you at
different.
a point, I know you said that, maybe not till August. Are you at a point where, because of your last performance, and obviously, like you said, wins equal raises, raises equals happiness, are you at a point where you're just like, if I'm not getting a fight. We'll just let these, 4 or 5 guys, play it out, fight it out if Alex Pereira comes up, and then give me a call. Let me know what's next.
Yeah, like I said, I'm waiting. I don't have like, oh, it's just a guy. I don't know. It really depends on the other performances in these X, like, because everybody in the top 8 is matched up besides me and Ty, Arsene Tybora, and that's just I don't. That's not really an option. I'm not trying to do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, I was gonna say some people would argue, well, it's another paycheck, but
Yeah, that's what my homies said. My teammate Zach Ponga, he was like, "I do it." I'm like, "I know you do it, but we'll see." I guess I can't really give definitive answers because yeah, you're right. It will be another pay paycheck, but I I would prefer to stay relevant, and that would be harder to do. You know.
let me ask you this just on nothing's set in stone, obviously. I know Pereira was down in Brazil talking to the media. He said he's waiting for clearance to move up to heavyweight. As a guy who chased Izzy at 185, then did it at 205, now is looking at heavyweight. How do you think he would fare just himself as a fighter moving up to heavyweight?
He would eat the sloppy dudes. You know the dudes he beat, like the dudes that just huck and ain't got no footwork, don't have no head movement, don't know how to strike, just swing. He beats those guys. But like, I don't know. But Derek Lewis, that's a scary fight. He hits you, he puts you down. He can absorb a lot. Same with Pavlovich, Volkov. That's a big skill. Ofo, me, like I'm gonna wrestle him. I'm not gonna play the game and be like, oh, let me see if I can knock out a world class striker on the feet. No, I would use my wrestling. So I think he'd have issues with the good guys, the rank guy. There's a difference between the top like 8 heavyweights and all the other heavyweights. It's not like the other divisions where there's a lot of unranked guys who are like, oh, that dude, he kind of nice. We don't have that in heavyweight. So he would
What
smash a lot of those guys.
With that being said, because there is such a talent separation between the top of the division and the bottom half of the division, is it frustrating when you see these guys at 205 or anywhere like they just want to jump up to heavyweight? And it's like, all right, like obviously John did it, and there was a resume pedigree that came with that and the fans and all that. But now Alex wants to do it and all this. Are you getting frustrated with that?
I'm not frustrated because I get it. It's business. That would sell pay-per-views. And if I had the belt, I I would do it. I'd be like, yeah, I'll fight Alex Pereira. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I get it. Like I said, I'm 33 years old. I'm not like young and emotional. I think about stuff. I thought about this a lot over the years. I've been in the UFC now for 8 years. I am past frustration. It's a waste of energy. I'd rather sit here and smoke and be happy. Like what? I I won. I won my last fight. It was on paper. Well, not on pay per view, but it was on a pay per view card. Like I feel good. I'm in a good place.
Obviously, like you said, 33, 8 years in the UFC. You've grown up basically
Yeah.
in the UFC. What can you attribute the most to having this mindset of like, look, man, I'm not gonna get up in arms about everything. I'm not gonna get emotional about everything. Was there something just that happened along the way, whether it be a talk with coaches or within yourself, where you're just like, this is the game I'm in?
Yeah. Like I said, after I beat Alistair, I was ranked number 2. I called for DC, and they gave him Eric Lewis, who had just beaten Volkov, but he had gotten his ass whooped that whole fight. And like that's when I knew, like, okay, this is a popularity thing. Because he had said either I don't know if that was my balls was hot or what Ronda fine ass way. It was one of those. It went super viral. He was the hot thing, and I get it. But at that time, I was like 29. I was still angry. I was like, what the fuck? And getting angry didn't do anything. It made my workouts harder. I wasn't focusing. I wasn't appreciating the time with my daughter. It was a waste of energy. So I'm like, I you're still making money. I had to go fight in Ghana instead after Alistair. I lost. I still made 100 grand. A lot of guys aren't able to lose and still make 100 grand. So I was like, you know what? It could be worse. It could be a whole lot worse. So ever since then, I've been in a better mind space.
I gotta ask you this away from the cage. Obviously, you're one of not only the most active like on social, but you speak up about like on social media about things that you're interested in. And obviously, I know you as a Chicago native, I have to ask. I talked to you the day of NFL free agency opening. Now we've had the draft go by. Caleb
I'm
Williams,
happy.
Roma Dunze. How happy are you as a Bears fan?
I was super happy. Like I like the GM. This dude, we're so used to dudes who fumble the easy decision. We're so used to the Gabe Kareemis, the Shea McClellans, like the who is that? We're so used to that. It's very refreshing when a GM just like, you know what? I have the number one overall pick. It's not much of a discussion. And then even at number 9, I was a little scared. I was scared, but when Atlanta picked Penix, I was like, okay, we good. But then no, I wasn't sure if they would take him or the pass rusher out of Leatu Latu. I thought they was gonna go for him, but going for Roma, that's perfect. That's perfect. I think because I do expect Allen. He's older. He has the injury history. I expect him to miss like 4 games. I'm already like that's already in my head. I'm hoping that whenever that does happen, Odunze's at the level where he's able to step up and we don't lose no steam. Because I do expect us to win like 9 games. Is that like unreasonable? I think we can win. I don't expect us to win the division. I do expect to beat the Packers at least once. At least once. Please. I just want to beat them once.
I'm with
It
you
don't even
there. I
gotta
don't
be at
think
home.
9 wins is unreasonable at all. I think on paper, the biggest concern really is Detroit, who continues to beef up their secondary.
Yeah.
But
They're gonna be
but
guard.
I think on paper, since Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey days, this Bears
Oh
offense
no.
on paper
Yeah.
is probably, if not equal, better than when they had
Well,
Brandon and Alshon.
the only difference is back then we had Matt Forte. We don't have Forte. I like Swift, but I don't know if his production last year was him or if it was um, behind that amazing offensive lines. But we'll see. I I wasn't angry that we got him for the amount. I just it's not 100% he's going to be like that that productive again. So that's the only difference. But this is more of a passing era anyways, so it won't hurt if he isn't as productive. It won't hurt as much.
So it's easy to say it's a rejuvenation in the
Oh
Chicago
yeah.
Bears organization, and fans should be able to get up for it.
I'm buying a jersey. I'm
Which
I'm
who are you
getting a
getting?
Williams jersey.
Are you?
Williams? Yeah, I'm gonna get an orange one.
I'm getting a Doomsday jersey because I've been calling for
Yep.
it since the beginning of last college football season. I was telling my friends, my family, I was like, if I'll move mountains to make sure Roma Dunze is a Chicago Bear.
I ain't gonna lie. I wanted a bookend for Sweat. I know we did end up getting a pass rusher, but he seems like he's more of a project right now. I
Yeah.
wanted like a more of an impact pass rusher, and I don't know if that's gonna be like a major hole, but that is something I do worry about pass rush.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Dallas Turner probably I would have been okay with
Yeah,
that.
I
I would
loved
have
it.
been
I'd have
very
loved it.
okay with that.
I'd have been almost as happy as I am with Odunze, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, I would have been happy either which way, but as someone who just called for, because I got a lot of flack for this. I think Odunze could have a better career than Marvin Harrison, who everyone is.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. I think the production that he had, surrounded by the talent that they had at Washington, I think Rome Odunze, and this may be a stretch, but I think Rome himself made Michael Penix that much of a better player. So they
Yeah,
they they obviously had a lot.
I
They
can be
had
said.
McMillan, they had Polk, but I think without Odunze, I don't think Washington does what they do. All credit to the other guys on the team, but I think without Odunze, it was just clear and cut for me. I'm not saying Marvin Harrison is going to be bad,
No,
but
no, no.
you
No,
know,
that's why I was like, wow, because that means Odunze is going to be amazing because I believe Harrison's going to be really good.
yeah. Well, and it's just situations too, right? Because Rome gets to learn from two of the very best in the NFL. There's going to be coverages on those two guys, and Rome
Yeah, 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 yeah.
in Arizona, he's got to rely on Kyler Murray to
He's got to
stay
be the guy.
healthy, and he's
Ooh,
and he's the number one
yeah.
threat. So
I forgot about the injury issues with
yeah,
Murray.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, there was calls like, oh my, like should Arizona get a new quarterback and all that? I mean,
Uh, I give him another shot. They paid him all that. What did he
they
get? He
did,
got
they did.
a lot of money. I forgot what he
Yeah,
got, but he got
yeah.
a lot.
Well, Curtis, I always appreciate the man. Sometimes I feel like I just want to text you and talk football with you because you're
Hey,
just that fun to
yo,
talk to, man.
I was gonna ask you. Um, I'm in two fantasy leagues already this year.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to join a third. If you have a league that needs a guy, I'm down to join.
I'll get something set up with you. You and I will talk off here, and I'll get something set up for you for sure. But to put a bow on everything, so not necessarily happy and jumping for joy, but you're in wait and see mode, and as of
Yeah.
right now, you believe it's gonna be Tom and Gone, and
Or it could be John. Like I am hearing the John rumors also. So honestly I believe there's a 10% chance it's me. But if it is me, I would like to know within the next four, 14 days. That'd be nice, you know?
hey, all I'm saying is last time I talked to a fighter and they were calling to like be notified of a fight, they got a fight like 10 days later. So I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if that happened
Yeah.
for you. Two more, if I can, real quick. This Jon Jones situation, and the last one is related to John, but it's something you mentioned last time, and I'll get to that. But on John, would you like John to stick around, or do you want him to get these legacy fights out the way and then?
No. It would be awesome if he stuck around. He adds more eyes on the division. I've always believed that. Like he he puts eyes in and that means the longer he's around, that maybe the possibility I do get to fight him. The only reason I don't believe I'm gonna get to fight him is it just seems that honestly, maybe even if he doesn't retire, he needs to take like a 1 year, 2 year, just a hiatus and just like get it together. Like I don't know what's going on, but he's always in the news. I don't know. So I think his future is always just going to be like, I don't know. Is he going to be here? We don't know. We don't know.
The last one, and I don't just cover up for anyone's incidents and all of that, but you mentioned something that was related to the sport, and I hate to give them any credit because I don't want them. I need the YouTube subscribers, not these kind of people. But there was somebody who was known as a MMA social media guy who has now recently, over the past few weeks, gone on a 42-minute rant about Jon Jones and his
Oh,
closet
Guru.
homosexuality.
I be watching Guru. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And Michael Chandler and him adopting African American children at some point, and it's not me looking for more, praise, but at some point, do we need to get rid of this? Like, I understand you get eyes because, you cross that line and all that, but do you believe like certain lines shouldn't be crossed when it comes to trying to just get more attention for yourself?
I do. I wish more of journalists. Even I believe that if you're on YouTube and you have a platform and you say you do research on, I believe that you're a journalist. I wish more journalists would just have different methods because they all have this same method. Like you said, I'm gonna say something spicy. It's gonna get out there. I'm gonna get views, and I'm just like, but I don't want to. Once you go down the slippery slope of like saying no, you can't say that. No, you can't. That starts to infringe on free speech, and I don't want to. I don't want to. That's a slippery slope. You don't want to open that door. So I just wish you gotta put it on a journalist. Like if I was a journalist, I like to believe I wouldn't be doing it like that. But who's to who's to say? I don't know. I've never been a journalist before, so I can't really speak on it.
Well, you could definitely talk football. I think there would definitely be a
Oh
future
no,
of you talking football and fights, man. Outside of the
I do
cage,
like my
man, I think
football.
I think you would do well on a platform talking football and fights. But no, I just think, like I said, and some people say, oh, you're just mad because he's got more followers. Yeah, sure, I don't care. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have authentic conversations with people and go that
No,
route. I think digging up something and coming up with these crazy things, and then what really did cross the line, speaking on Francis Ngannou and his unfortunate situation.
yeah, yeah,
That's where I look, I'm all for freedom of speech as well,
yeah.
but have a
Like you
little bit
said,
of respect.
and that's on him because that is that one is going to stick with you. And down the line, maybe he does want to interview other guys, and guys are gonna remember that. So that's like his own form of punishment. I know it's like it's not official, but I would be hesitant to do an interview. I'm like, what's he gonna dig up on me? I don't have nothing, but who knows? My memory is bad. I smoke a lot. I get hit in the head. I don't know.
That's a perfect way to cap this off. No, man, and I agree. Like I said, don't want to infringe on freedom of speech, but I think some lines shouldn't be crossed. But all I'm saying is Dana White and the UFC, they put together these hit pieces when, like, the one they did on UFC 300 of the media coming out and saying bad things. I'm like, Dana, you're not looking at the right channels. I don't have those subscribers, but look at me. I was praising, like, it's right here, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I
praising the
see you.
company.
Well,
So I definitely appreciate your time. And man, listen, as soon as I got the opportunity with Calf Kick Sports, I was like, I know the best time, to talk to you would be right now. I want this fight for you because I think the narrative makes sense. You
I
obviously
do too.
understand, and I understand, John, Tom, Alex and Gon. I get all that, but I think the easier choice, in my opinion, would have been you and Tom, especially coming off, your amazing performance in your last fight. But we'll see what happens. 10% chance, you're saying. I hope it's more than that. And hopefully we hear something in the next 14 days. And I will say, just as someone who has a lot of respect for you, I'll be absolutely pumped if things change course and you get that call.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like always, I appreciate the positive energy and the support.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we'll be in talk about some fantasy football.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm serious about that. I'm ready to join the third league. I
I
think
got
I can
you.
handle it.
Thank you very much, Curtis.
No worries. You have a good day.